Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alameen. La sharika lahu wa bidhalika umirtu wa anna awwalul muslimin. My prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for God. He is the first that has commanded me to submit, and that I do. I want to talk about a very difficult subject here today. You don't have to respond, but I need you to listen. There's an insidious problem in our community, and I'm speaking to us all. There's an insidious problem in our community, and it's called lack of respect, lack of self-discipline, and lack of self-awareness of who you are and where you need to go. I'm going to be reading today from chapter 49 of the Holy Quran. It's a surah about Al-Hujurat, the chambers, right? It says, "O you who believe, do not raise your voices above the prophet's voice, nor speak to him aloud as you may speak to one of your friends, your other folks, lest your deeds become vain and you perceive not. Lower your voice in the presence of God's messenger. This is a test for piety, and for them is forgiveness and a great reward." There's a lot in those two verses, right? It's talking about respect for those in authority, respect for those who have more life experience than you. In the military, a respect for those people who, at this time, outrank you. The Quran says, lower your voice in their presence. It's talking about the messenger in this sense. It is a test of piety and humility for you. And there's forgiveness and a great reward. There's a lot in that. Sometimes when we invite people into our circle, when we invite people into mentorship, when we invite people into our lives to help them lift as we climb, sometimes, most times, what I have found, they take that as a means to disrespect you or devalue you or make you a common person on their plane of existence. This is a mistake, in my opinion. They should value you because, as the Quran says, it's not just a value of you or the office you hold. It is a value of themselves. God says here, it is a test of piety, humility for them. My commanding officer, when I was a captain, we ride together and he'd take me to the field and he always say, "Hey, call me Bob. We're the same age, chaplain. Call me Bob. Come on, man. You know, with the commander and the chaplain's relationship has to be tight." I say, "No, sir. No, sir. I value you too much. I value the office you have too much. And more importantly than that, sir, I value my own discipline and my own humility. I need to ensure that the relationship between me and you is that one of respect." And he would try, and he keep trying to get me to call him Bob. And yes, we were the same age. I had so much respect for him as a battalion commander and him and his office and my own discipline. I never slept. I never went to that lower level with him. And I respected him so much, I asked him to promote me. Interestingly enough, he said at my promotion ceremony, I want you to listen carefully. He said, I don't do a lot of these, even when people ask me, but I wanted to do it for Khallid. And let me tell you why. He said, for the 13 months that I knew Khallid, I was in command, I always tried to get him to call me by my first name because we were the same age. He said he never would bow to that pressure. He said, this is when I knew and understood that he was ready to be a field grade officer and to lead human beings, not because he had respect so much for me, but he respected himself enough to keep the respect for me. Woo! I want you to listen to me. The Quran says, lower thy voice in the presence of God's messenger. This is a test of piety for you. This is a test of humility for you. And there's a great reward for you in the end. I see in our communities the lack of respect, even on Facebook. I see in our communities the lack of respect and intentional respect, even on our social media sites. I see the lack of respect and the lack of humility. In my opinion, to those people who are our seniors, we try to bring them down to our level. Those people have earned the respect. Even if they make mistakes, even if they're not perfect, those people have earned their respect, not just for the rank they wear, not just for the office they hold, but the respect of you, of yourself. I got to say that again because I don't want to confuse you. All of those people who have at this time, who are above you in rank, who are above you in experience, who are above you in whatever sphere of life, they deserve your respect because you respect yourself. When you don't respect them, it is not an indictment on them. It's an indictment on you because you have no self-respect, you have no self-regard, and you have no self-awareness for who you are. The Bible and the Quran and the Torah talks about respect for those who are in authority. It didn't say you have to adore them. It didn't say you have to even like them, but it talks about a respect for those who are in authority because it's indicative of who you are as a person and how you follow God's commands. The Quran says, raise not your voices above the voices of the prophet, which means don't be disrespected. Don't be insubordinate to those who are in charge. Don't speak to them as you would speak to your friends, lest your deeds become vain and you perceive not. No, I want to say that again because I don't think many of us get that. Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, man? What's up, dog? It shows me your lack of respect for yourself. While you think you are being common with me or common with somebody who has experienced extreme turmoil to get where they are, you think that's being cool by showing them a lack of regard. Raise not your voices above the voice of the prophet, nor speak aloud to them in talk, nor treat them as they are one of your friends, lest your deeds become vain and you perceive not. You see, that's vanity. No. I know this is a tough subject. I know it's a tough subject, but I see you out there. I see the conversations. I feel the conversations. People are in my inbox. What's up, dog? What's up, man? What's up, brother? But on the other end, had they seen or talked to somebody else, they don't use the same type of measuring stick. Why? I'm just trying to educate you. It's an indictment on you. It's indicative of who you are as a person. You don't believe that you can lower your humility because the person looks like you. You don't believe that you have to show the person the regard because the person behaves very nicely towards you. It's indicative of who you are. It says, lower thy voice in the presence of God's messenger. And it's a test for you, for piety, for humility. And for those who do it, it's a great reward for you. As I close this very difficult subject, I hope that I'm teaching you something. I hope that the message comes across as that of a lesson, as an admonition, as a person that's trying to help you get to the next level spiritually. I want to hone the point. This point is not about that person's rank. It's not about that person's office. It's about you and your self-discipline to have regard for that person's rank, to have regard for that person's office, because as God says in here, if not, your deeds become vain and you perceive not. I've heard people say, oh man, I just talked to him like he one of the fellas because he cool. I always laugh. I'm saying, my God, that person is vain and they perceive not. You should give that person the highest regard because they are lowering their wings of humility to give you, to mentor you, to educate you on what it takes to get to the next level. But those are the people you disrespect most. You see, the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, were teaching the companions. He was hanging out with the companions. They saw some of his improprieties. They saw some of the things that they didn't disagree with. So some of them would raise their voices to him. Some of them would treat him as a commoner. Some people would talk to him in a very common manner. And the prophet was so shy. He was so humble, and it hurt him to correct them. Like most of us, it hurts us to correct you. So God comes to say, by revelation, lower your voice in humility, respect the authority, respect the office, because if you don't, it's more vanity on your part and you perceive not, and it's an indictment on your character and your integrity and your value and you perceive not. He says, lower your voices. He ain't your homeboy. He ain't your home girl. She ain't your home girl. That person has struggled. That person has given a part of their soul. That person has went through all kind of trouble and tribulation to get to this point in their lives. And you, because you have no self-discipline, and no self-regard, and no self-awareness, no emotional intelligence, you put that person down to a common level. Why do you do that? Because you don't see any value in yourself. So that person who has that rank and holds that office, you would rather diminish who they are to satisfy the evil in your own soul. I know that's hard, but my job as the imam is to be a teacher. My job as an imam is to be an admonisher to you, to help you reclaim your dignity, your values, and who you are as a human being. God, as we close this morning devotion, this is not just for them. This devotion is for us all. This devotion is for me. This devotion is for anybody who is listening on this Facebook. In 2021, let us value ourselves. Let us value who we are. Let us have integrity, intestinal fortitude, and dignity of discipline in ourselves to actually respect those who are in authority, to respect those who are given their time and their humility to us to grow us. God, thank you, and give us courage to be better mothers, better fathers, better husbands, better wives, and better servants to you. Amen. Peace and blessings of God to you all. Fi amanillah. Go in God's peace.